I've worked as a therapist long enough to know when something isn't right. Not just clinical wrongness, but that primal sort of wrong. Like smell you can't name, but know to fear. That's what it felt like the night she walked in. It was a Thursday. Rain had been hitting the windows all evening like fingernails on glass. My last client had cancelled, but I stayed behind. Habit mostly. I find the silence of the room comforting. At 7:12 p.m, the buzzer rang. I hadn't booked anyone. I buzzed them in anyway. Curiosity overrode caution. A weakness I've come to regret. She entered slowly, wearing a long, drenched coat. Her hair was stuck to her face, her eyes shadowed and distant. She didn't ask if I had time. She simply said, "You still see those who come after dark?" I should have said no. I didn't. She sat. No intake form, no name offered, no questions. "Sometimes," she said, "the language of the soul can't be spoken plainly." Her voice was soft, but it vibrated oddly in the room, as though the sound was travelling from behind the walls. I said nothing. Let the silence fill the space, as we therapists do. She began to speak, or rather, chant. Her words came out in staccato bursts, consonants bending in unnatural ways. It sounded like a language, but none I recognized. Not Latin, not glossolalia, something older. Then she stopped, looked up, smiled faintly. "Sorry," she said. "That sometimes happens when I'm nervous." I asked her name. She said she didn't remember. Not the name that matters anyway. I asked what brought her here. "They said you listen well, even to the parts that don't want to be heard." I scribbled a note. A draft of unease passed over me like a cold breeze, though the windows were shut. I noticed the temperature on my thermostat had dropped 3 degrees. "I need to leave something behind," she said. I asked her to explain. "It's inside me. Has been since I was 7. I used to think it was a voice in my head. But then it started speaking through me." I asked what it says. She stared directly at me, eyes like whetstone. "It doesn't use words. It uses memories. Mostly ones that aren't mine." As she spoke, I felt something strange, an ache in the back of my neck, a pressure in the room like we were underwater. My notes had small droplets forming on them, though nothing in the room was wet. Then she began to speak again, but this time not just in sound. Images hit me, memories that weren't mine. A house burning with someone still inside, a mirror that wouldn't reflect her face, standing over a grave that hadn't been dug yet. You see it, don't you?" she asked. I said nothing. My jaw was locked. "Good. That means it's working." I told her we should pause the session, that I needed a moment. I stood, walked to the door and tried to open it. It wouldn't move. "Sometimes," she said from behind me, "the space listens better when it's closed." I turned. She was standing now, hands clasped before her, head tilted. "I was told you could help me release it, but it doesn't want to go. It likes this room." I felt something press behind my eyes, a burning. I saw a flash of my own office from above, like I was watching myself from the ceiling. "You've let it in now," she whispered. "The room knows." The lamp in the corner exploded. No fire, no heat, just absence, the way a bulb looks in a dream. She sat back down, calmly. "If I leave it here, will you care for it? Like you care for all the others?" I couldn't answer. My voice had stopped working. She smiled wider. Her teeth were too white, too symmetrical. "You see, you're good at holding pain. So many have left theirs here, but this one will stay awake." The clock ticked, then rewound. I remember her standing, saying thank you, opening the door that moments before had been locked. She left no wet prints on the floor, no scent, no sound. Only a faint pressure in the room, like someone still sitting in the chair. Since that night, I've tried to forget. I changed my schedule. I removed the lamp. I painted the walls. But every now and then, clients sit in that chair and pause. They glance at the corner of the room. Their breathing hitches. They ask, "Do you hear that?" I tell them no. Because if I acknowledge it, I think it will grow. Whatever she left behind, it hasn't gone. It waits. And sometimes I hear it, whispering in a language I'm starting to understand.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.